My life started as a parkour noob. I worked my way up to become a parkour pro, fought in battles to my last breath till I became a parkour master, and saved all of parkour civilization to become the champion. But now I'm something more. I am the god of parkour civilization. But what does being the parkour god mean exactly? Well, for one, I get netherite boots. Obviously very cool, but probably doesn't compare to the other features. Like being able to summon parkour out of thin air. Any jump I can think of, I can make. And now for the last perk of being the parkour god. Being able to do a 360 over copper rods to summon lightning. Funny thing about that one though, that one has nothing to do with being the parkour god. That's just how good I am. Anyways, aside from my abilities, my job is to be the guardian of parkour civilization. And up until today, that job was easy for me. Up until it wasn't. Within the span of one parkour jump, I was no longer looking down at all of parkour civilization, but up at a giant structure in the middle of mountains of sand. I didn't know how I got here, but I knew one thing. I wasn't in parkour civilization anymore, which means if I'm trapped here, then who's gonna protect my world? It's not often you get sent randomly to a different universe, but if I know one thing about exploring new places, talking to people is the best way to figure things out. Luckily, I found just what I needed, a player that will hopefully help explain the situation I'm in.
People didn't believe me when I said you weren't the god they thought you were. I won't let my civilization die because of you.
Wait, am I still in parkour civilization? How do you know who I am? Okay, well, if you want to know my resume, I defeated the evil parkour champion with a triple Neo, and then I defeated the parkour villain with a parkour race. I don't know, both of those things seem like pretty good things. I don't know what else I could do to improve my reputation as a parkour god. What just happened? How did I just take damage? What parkour jump did you just do? Okay, it's been a while since I've been a part of a parkour battle, so let's break this down quickly. He's not using barriers, so it must be some other form of invisible parkour. But just as I was about to build my parkour combo to defend myself, the player put away the item he was holding and just disappeared right in front of my eyes.
So you're the parkour god and I still have to save your life.
Well, this is a very humbling moment. Standing behind me was the player that just saved my life with the parkour jump. A parkour jump that I taught him, by the way. This was my friend, the parkour champion, the one who rules over all of parkour civilization. Okay, please tell me you did something with the command blocks and you brought us somewhere very far away and you're gonna send us back right now.
Unfortunately, this wasn't me, and I'm guessing it wasn't you, which means we're in trouble because if someone takes control of the command blocks, parkour civilization could be destroyed.
Okay, you're right, this is very bad, but we can find a way back home. Besides, we got the two best parkour players in the world, and you know what they say, as long as you can parkour.
Stop, please don't say it.
My parkour champion friend saved my life with a 3-block chest jump. If you successfully land an attack with the chest jump, you steal all the items from a player's inventory. So, right before I was attacked by that random player, my parkour champion friend already had the jump set up. So, when that player jumped towards me, they failed the parkour battle and lost this item called an iron axe. The question I have is, why did that player die from a 3-block jump? Wait, you didn't hit him with a 360, did you?
I recently heard from a parkour pro that they found someone holding an item similar to that one. It's some sort of weapon, and it influences how they live.
If someone's in parkour civilization with one of these weapons, people won't know how to stop them. Okay, we just have to assume that Jumper will take control of the command blocks while you're gone. If she does that, I'm sure she'll keep parkour civilization safe.
Hey guys!
And of course she's here too.
Wait, don't tell me. So you guys tried the chorus for jump, and you discovered that if you land an attack, it can send a player really far away?
Sorry to disappoint, but no one did a parkour jump. Trust me though, we'll get around to trying the chorus fruit jump eventually. This is Jumperwho, the only other person in parkour civilization besides the champion that knows I exist as the parkour god. She has a unique skill set that specializes in experimental parkour. I mean, she became a parkour master by putting someone to sleep with a bed jump. So now she hangs with us and keeps a book of all potential parkour jumps that might revolutionize parkour civilization. Okay, but check this out. I did try the copper rod jump.
Please tell me it summons lightning.
You can in fact strike someone with lightning.
Yes, I knew it!
Okay, we're not gonna find a way back to parkour civilization anytime soon just standing here, so let's probably find somewhere to go, or at least find people that don't want us dead. The parkour champion told us that when he first arrived in this universe, he saw a structure that looked like it could be the home for people in this civilization. Sure enough, we followed him through the desert and saw a giant structure looming in the distance. Definitely a promising sign of player activity, but the question is, will these be players that want to help us? None of us know what PvP is or how it works, but we're gonna have to take a risk if we're gonna get back to parkour civilization. Alright, you guys stay here. Time for parkour surveillance. Right, I forgot to mention the last pretty cool perk that comes with being the parkour god, and that is getting access to my own dimension. Anytime at will, I can transport myself to this place, a place where I don't need parkour jumps to move around, because, well, everything is a parkour jump in this dimension. The good thing about being in this state is no one can see me here, but I can see them, which makes this a good power when it comes to observing potential threats. It was hard to make sense of what this giant structure was. I saw walls with colors that somewhat represented all the variations of boots in Parkour Civilization. But the most notable thing were the armor stands. Now, I'm no stranger to armor stands in Parkour Civilization, but clearly armor stands have a much larger impact in this civilization than ours. I kinda confirmed that when I saw a giant house shaped as an armor stand. But that's when I found my first player. Up at the top of the house, I heard the faint sound of footsteps, and I made my way up to see a woman talking to some machine. It sounded like she was recording a message.
It's been 2 days since evbo went missing, along with Foray and Minitek. They just disappeared.
This person knows who I am and knows I went missing. Except she's not talking about me because she's not from our world, which means she's talking about the evbo from this universe. Okay, this makes a lot more sense now. Okay, guys, we have a lot of development. So there's an evbo from this universe that's not me, and I'm pretty sure he's stuck in Parkour Civilization, and the people here are trying to find him. So long story short, if these people are friends with evbo in this universe, I'm sure they'll help us get back home. All right, now I gotta find a good way to introduce myself.
Who are those people?
I don't know, but they aren't holding any type of weapons, so I think a better question is, how are they still alive?
I don't care who they are. They did something to evbo, so that means nothing stops us until we find a way to bring him back.
Oh, great. Why did you have to say it like that?
Well, you know what they say. As long as you can parkour, there's always a way.
What is going on? Where is evbo's diamond sword?
Forget that. Where did evbo get all this aura from?
All right, I think that was a good non-threatening introduction. Let's do this.
evbo, tell me what's going on. Where did you go? And how are you still alive without a weapon?
Right, okay, I am not your evbo. I mean, I am evbo, my name is evbo, but I'm not from your world. In fact, I don't even know what this place is. What is this called?
Oh, this is called PvP Civilization.
Right, which means I'm pretty sure the evbo you know is somehow stuck in my universe. I don't know how we swap places, but my world's in danger, and I'm sure the same goes for you as well.
You said our evbo is in your universe. What is your universe?
Well, that would be Parkour Civilization. We are back with our first video journal update in Parkour Prison. Now I'm gonna address the obvious, I do not have a video journal machine, but Minitek can kind of hear me from over there, so it's not like I'm talking to myself exactly. Anyways, let's get to it. Parkour Prison has lava everywhere down below. If I miss a jump, I'm dead. I mean, I know that respawning is a thing in Parkour Civilization, but, well, it would be pointless to have a prison if you could just jump out at any time, so I'm gonna assume the worst. Then we have the prisoner that was supposedly from PvP Civilization. I don't know how they escaped, but apparently they took out someone in one PvP attack. No clue who that might be. Maybe a diamond axe, I guess? But speaking of weapons from PvP Civilization, there is a bow here, and I know who it is. The leader of the bows, Siwat, was trapped here as well, but somehow escaped his cell and headed towards the exit. So now I know who was responsible for saving me from Prince Zan when I was trying to rank up to become a parkour pro. Siwat holds a weapon from PvP Civilization, yet he was able to escape, and I think I might have an idea on how he did that. Alright, signing off. Hey, excuse me. Wait, please. Look, I need to get out of here. So, I'm offering something. I'll pay you in parkour.
Besides the fact that I was told to never let you out, you only gave me a 1-block jump last time.
That's true, but I did not exactly understand the parkour currency then, but now it's different. You better be paying attention because this kind of bribe doesn't come around often. Alright, there's one, and one more. Let's go. Nice! There's two. Told you wouldn't regret this.
So first you pay me with a 1-block jump, then threaten to kill me, and then give me 2 1-block jumps. Yeah, nice try, buddy.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Bro, how did Siwat escape? What kind of jumps can you even do in a small cell like this? There's gotta be one jump that just pays for every... Wait a minute.
I once heard a story of a parkour pro being paid with a 360. This is just insulting.
That's it? Okay, now I just gotta figure out how to do a 360. Alright, you wanna be paid more? Check this out. Okay, this is a little scary, but, I mean, I've done a 360 before. I swear, if this doesn't work, this is gonna be embarrassing. Was that even a 360?
I don't believe it. A 360? I thought that was just a myth. I can't believe this.
I said this before, and I'll say it again. I don't know how a 360 adds more value to a parkour jump. But don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining, because this single jump just got me out of prison. Okay, note to self, 360s are very valuable here. Definitely might come in handy, especially now that Parkour Civilization will probably be trying to throw me back in jail. I told Minitek I'd find a way to break him out, or if he wants to break out on his own, he just has to do a 360, I guess. And I made my way towards what I assumed to be the exit of Parkour Prison. I stepped through the giant portal and instantly was teleported back into the parkour temple. I know it's not worth much, but it's kind of cool to say that I've escaped 2 prisons in 2 different universes. Alright, but back to what's important. I would go back to my video journal machine and make an update, but I have a new game plan now, so I can't get sidetracked. And that plan is to go even higher in parkour civilization. The player with the gold boots said the parkour champion was missing, and someone could take control of the command blocks. Now, I don't know what the command blocks are, but I have a feeling that that might be my best chance of getting back to PvP civilization.
And you would be right, but you're gonna need my help to get there.
An entire civilization of people with lifespans that revolve around the durability of the weapon they're born with. And the only way to guarantee your own survival is by taking the life of someone else. Kinda makes me grateful for how easy we have it in parkour civilization. The evbo from PvP civilization has a best friend named Tabby, and she told me everything I needed to know. Turns out I'm kind of the hero in this civilization as well, but not in any way that I could have thought of. The evbo from this universe willingly sacrifices himself so he can save the lives of everyone here. I guess he has some power to respawn, so every time he dies, players claim the durability from the weapon he drops in order to live longer. Knowing all this brings us back to the player the parkour champion took out with the chest jump. It makes sense now. If PvP civilization depends on evbo for his durability, they must have thought that evbo just gave up on them, when in reality he's not even here, which is why we need to find a way to bring him back as soon as possible, or else this player's life might not be the only one lost. I watched as Tabby salvaged what was left of the iron axe's durability, and that's when I saw that she had an axe of her own. I don't know how that works. I guess you can have more than one PvP weapon? All I know is once you have one, you can't drop it or else you die, so I'm kind of glad I didn't pick up the iron axe. So you're telling me there are 5 different civilizations in PvP civilization, and not one of these knows how to use parkour to attack?
Look, I'm sure you settle disagreements with parkour wherever you're from, but here, this is real fighting.
Okay, looks like we got a non-believer here. How about this? I'll show you parkour if you show me what PvP is. Okay, do it again. Okay. Can you do it one more time but slower?
How is this confusing?
Okay, so if you wanted to battle me, you can just do that over and over. Interesting. In parkour battles, you actually have to wait your turn. Hey, what's like a super powerful attack look like? Whoa, 5 hearts of damage with 1 attack? I wonder how much damage it would do if you added...
Okay, I showed you PvP. Now, explain this parkour thing quickly so I can start thinking of ways to keep you alive.
I'm sorry to tell you, but explaining parkour battles might take a while.
Where did those blocks just come from?
Okay, let's hope a 4-block jump doesn't take her out. So parkour battling is intention-based. If I want to attack you with this 4-block jump, I just have to think about it. Or you can verbally announce it to be cooler. So now you are officially locked into a parkour battle, and if you don't make this jump or a jump that's even harder, you might die.
Are all versions of you incapable of being serious?
Okay, I'm pretty confident you're not gonna die, but look, I don't know how parkour damage affects PvP people.
Let's go find...
Ooh, okay, you didn't die.
What did you just do to me?
I mean, I showed you. I hit you with a 4-block jump.
No way. What's your strongest attack?
Well, let me think. You have Neos, parkour combos, and then you can add a 360, which is kind of my signature move.
Yeah, you can try hitting me with that.
Whoa, no can do. Sorry, man. A 360 at full strength would be like, well, I don't really have a comparison. You would just die. I can just show you one if you want to see it by itself.
Trust me, I'm the strongest one here. I'll survive.
Bro, I'm telling you, you're gonna die. Now that I think about it, it's a little strange that I've gotten that request in both universes. After I explained parkour battles to Tabby, I met up with, I guess, the 3rd diamond sword. Her name was Julie, and she brought me to a building known as the Video Journal Machine headquarters. Apparently, the machine I saw Tabby talking to earlier was called a Video Journal Machine, and all of the video journal logs end up here.
You, or I guess I should say the other you, likes to spend way too much time in this place. His entire life story is basically recorded here.
Whoa, so the other version of me made all of these journals?
Feel free to watch them. It might take you days, but it's a good story.
To be honest, I kind of overlooked the fact that there is an alternate version of myself, but just one of these video journals proves that... Wait, bro, how many of these did he make? Anyways, what I was gonna say is just one of these video journals will confirm the existence of an alternate version of myself. And I'm gonna start at the very beginning. Maybe knowing the history of my other self might help me protect this civilization while I'm still here. Alright, how does this work? Well, there's already one still in here. If I watch this, am I starting at the end? Alright, first video journal update in parkour civilization. My name's evbo, and I'm not from this universe. Okay, this is crazy. So that's me from PvP civilization. And he brought one of these video journal machines to parkour civilization, and somehow those journals are still able to be seen by us in this universe. So if this machine can bridge the gap between both of our universes, is it possible to send a message? So, in a slight turn of events, the leader of the bows and the leader of the swords, I don't know if anyone calls me that, but I guess I can call myself that for right now, are teaming up to become parkour masters. Apparently, according to Siwat, the command blocks are blocks at the top of parkour civilization that have the power to control everything. So, our thinking is that if we can get access to the command blocks, we can send ourselves home. However, similar to becoming a parkour pro, we needed some sort of ticket to actually make the course to rank up to become a parkour master. So I kind of thought our journey was over pretty quickly, but then I turned around to see that Siwat had placed down 2 oak planks. I guess the way you earn a ticket to become a parkour master is defeating a player in a parkour battle. Now, the obvious question, what is parkour battling? Well, I kind of assume that parkour here does damage somehow, especially after seeing that parkour master jump over 2 brewing stands and I got knocked unconscious. Yeah, that still doesn't make any sense to me, but I'm just gonna go with it. So anyways, that led to Siwat attacking me, I guess you would call it, with a 4-block jump, and then I died and respawned as a parkour noob. Turns out that if you lose a parkour battle here, or if you miss a jump and fall down a layer, you will lose your rank, which means if I'm gonna have any chance at getting to the top of parkour civilization and getting out of here, I probably can't afford to be dying all the time. But this time was an exception because 1, well, it was voluntary, and 2, this was the only way we could possibly rank up to become masters. Because the parkour champion or whatever is missing, I guess they put a pause on all parkour battles to stop people from getting these tokens. So letting Siwat defeat me in a parkour battle actually does 2 things. 1, it lets us rank up to become parkour masters in a time when no one can rank up. And 2, well, it goes a long way with trust. Siwat saved me when I was trying to rank up, so it's only fair I pay him back. Hey Siwat, how'd you get to know so much about all this parkour battling stuff, the command blocks? I mean, I'm guessing you haven't been here that long either, so how did you get to know all this?
Why did you break me out of prison? What do you want from me? Why would I need to master parkour? You know I'm not from here. And what makes you think I'm not capable of surviving on my own? I guess paying people here in parkour goes a long way.
Makes sense. Siwat learned how to do the 360 as well. Going on this journey with Siwat to become parkour masters actually goes a long way for me. Siwat speaks for the entire bow civilization back home, and while we haven't really had any fights, the bows haven't really been on the trusting side when it comes to me offering my sword durability to them. So, with that being said, if I can help Siwat get back to PvP civilization, that might just be enough to convince him that I don't have bad intentions and I just want to help them. Fortunately, both Siwat and I didn't have to go back to being parkour noobs. We completed the parkour course to become parkour masters, and I got to throw away my iron boots in exchange for a new pair of golden boots. Alright, 3rd layer of society unlocked. The job's not finished though, because to get access to the command blocks, well, one of us needs to become the parkour champion. But given the fact that the parkour champion's missing, it might be possible for us to get the diamond boots according to Siwat. Now comes the part of the plan where we actually figure out how to do that. And that brings us to, well, I guess parkour society. Here at the 3rd level of parkour civilization, life becomes less about making the parkour jumps and more about fighting with parkour. Parkour masters battle in this giant arena in hopes of becoming the champion one day. So now that Siwat and I are both parkour masters, well, we're just gonna battle each other. To do that though, Siwat said he needed to find blocks for us to battle with, but he knew where to get some. So in the meantime, I was gonna have to find out how to get into the parkour arena. Apparently, since the parkour champion is gone, ranking up is now paused, I guess. So with that in effect, I'm guessing the player standing at the door to the parkour arena is not gonna let me in. So that's gonna be a problem because the parkour arena is how I get the diamond boots, and the diamond boots are how I get to the top of parkour civilization. Alright, let's just go talk to this guy. I think I just gotta be confident, to be honest. I mean, the other evbo became the parkour champion of this universe, so why can't I? Hey man, could I get into the arena, please?
Every parkour master knows that battling is prohibited until the parkour champion returns.
Yeah, so I heard. How do you feel about getting paid with a 360? Maybe even 2. I'm open to negotiations.
Evbo, where have you been all this time? Haven't seen you since you defeated the parkour villain and then you made your friend the champion.
No way, this guy actually knows me? Right, okay. Yeah, so I actually need to defeat a parkour villain again. So, do you think you could let me in? Okay, this is weird. This is the first person in Parkour Civilization I've met that knows me, not me, but the me from this universe, and it seems like it already has its benefits. I mean, this guy just let me into the parkour arena despite Parkour Civilization shutting down this arena entirely. Okay, so I'm just gonna assume being the parkour champion means everything here, which leads me to the question, that guy said I made my friend the parkour champion, so what happened to me? Oh, lots of questions and not many video journal machines to debrief. I'm gonna have to do without. For now, I just have to wait in this giant parkour arena for Siwa to arrive with some blocks. Then we parkour battle, one of us becomes the champion, and we both get out of here back to PvP Civilization.
Yep, just jump and you'll start flying.
There's no way I'm just gonna start. What the?
So this is for sure your evbo from your universe.
Yep, that's very much him. I thought he was done buying more journal machines.
Okay, you're gonna have to explain to me how this machine works, because if this thing can communicate across dimensions...
We have a problem. I don't know how, but the Eternal Sword is missing.
Okay, so fill me in here. What is the Eternal Sword, and why is it missing?
Because someone stole it. Come on! We have to find them before they escape.
Okay, that can't be good. I'll follow you, I guess.
evbo, if you are saying this...
So apparently in PvP Civilization, there are 5 all-powerful weapons that control the world, and each civilization is, I guess, responsible for guarding their own. Well, now the sword is missing, and when I saw someone running towards the exit with a weapon that was not a sword, I was confident that this was the player who stole it. I wanted to wait for the other swords to find me so I could figure out what to do, but at the same time, the player was getting away, so I was gonna take matters into my own hands. Jumper, perfect timing. Okay, hit me with a speed jump and make it fast. Recently, Jumper and I have been playing around with the idea of intentionally getting hit with a parkour attack. Thank you. So for cases like this, where I need to catch up to someone, I can intentionally get hit by a brewing stand parkour jump to give myself speed to run 5 times faster than the average player. Within a few minutes, I caught up to the player, but my speed wore off, and there was still a large distance between us. However, I think it was close enough to start a parkour battle. Alright, let's see if this works. I summoned 2 ice blocks in my hand, and as I was running, I attacked with a 4-block 360. An attack this powerful should be enough to... Wait, what? At first, I thought my parkour jump was too far away to lock this player into battle, but the attack hasn't even landed yet. The player hasn't jumped. This doesn't make sense. This player has a PvP weapon, but the only way they would know not to jump is if they know how to parkour battle.
Bring me the video journal, or I will hunt you for the rest of your life. evbo, if you are seeing this, you are not safe.
Finally, after what seemed like forever, the gate on the other side of the arena opened. Looks like Siwa got the blocks we needed for our parkour battle. Except, the door closed and, well, no one was here in the arena yet. But that's when I heard the sound of footsteps, and I saw the distortions in the air that I've seen before. Okay, Siwa, why are you invisible?
Someone let Prince Sam out of prison. I couldn't see, but I could tell that they were invisible.
But him getting out of prison isn't the problem. It's how he got out.
I saw him jump from his cell into lava, and right before he landed,
he was hit by something and disappeared.
Okay, so I guess the parkour battle starts now. Hey, you have to explain to me how it works first. I want to try it.
I don't know if it was PvP or parkour, but there is someone out there with a weapon.
Bro, what is this jump you even made? This doesn't even look like parkour. Also, can you give me blocks now?
I don't know why it could be, but the sound it made was the sound of death.